Welcome friends, back to our channel, History Coins HD. These Jefferson nickel 5-cent coins make people rich. Let's find out why. Don't miss out one of these. Who know a single coin make you rich? Let's start this. Coin 1. Imagine holding a simple 5-cent coin in your hand and realizing it carries history, mystery, and the potential to be worth far more than anyone expects. Today's video is about the United States of America rare Jefferson nickel from the year 1964, a coin that deserves your full attention. Coin lovers, collectors, and treasure hunters, listen very carefully and enjoy every moment of this journey. The 1964 Jefferson nickel was struck during one of the busiest and most chaotic periods in U.S. mint history. America was facing a coin shortage, and demand was so high that the mint pushed production to extreme levels. Millions upon millions of nickels were produced, and because of this pressure, quality control was not perfect. This is where the magic begins. While most of these coins entered circulation and became worn, a small number were created with unique characteristics that today make collectors' hearts race. On the front, we see Thomas Jefferson, calm and confident, a symbol of American leadership and vision. On the back stands Monticello, his famous home, rich with detail and history. But what makes some 1964 nickels truly rare is not the design itself, but how that design appears. Errors occurred during striking, and those errors turned ordinary coins into extraordinary collectibles. Some coins were struck off-center, creating an unusual and dramatic appearance. Others show doubled letters or doubled details in Jefferson's face, caused by misaligned dies. These doubling effects are not damage, they are mint mistakes, and collectors prize them highly. Another major factor that makes this coin special is the quality of the strike. During high-speed production, many coins came out weak, especially on the steps of Monticello. Collectors search for nickels with strong, sharp details where every step is clearly visible. These are known as full-steps nickels, and they are incredibly difficult to find from 1964. A single missing line can mean the difference between a common coin and a highly valuable one. Finding a full-steps example feels like uncovering a hidden gem from history. Condition is everything in coin collecting, and this nickel proves it perfectly. Most examples were heavily circulated, rubbed against thousands of other coins, and lost their original shine. But a small number were saved, untouched, locked away in rolls or collections. These coins still glow with mint luster, sharp edges, and bold detail. For collectors, discovering such a piece is a moment of pure excitement, because it connects the present to a moment frozen in 1964. This coin also tells a deeper story about patience and knowledge. It reminds collectors that value is not always obvious. Sometimes, the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight. Every Jefferson nickel from this year deserves a second look, because you never know when a rare error or exceptional strike is waiting to be discovered. Now listen carefully to this final part. In the real market, a circulated 1964 Jefferson nickel is generally worth only a little more than 5 cents. An uncirculated example can be worth several dollars. A high-grade coin with strong details can be worth tens of dollars. Nickels with full steps or significant mint errors have sold at auction for hundreds of dollars, and the finest known examples have reached values in the range of several $1,000s, depending on condition, rarity, and collector demand. Coin 2. This is not just a coin, this is a survivor of history. Today's video is about the United States of America rare Jefferson nickel from the year 1943. Coin lovers, history fans, and collectors, listen very carefully, because this coin carries secrets that many people never notice, yet those secrets can change everything. The year 1943 was unlike any other in American history. The world was deep in World War II, and every resource mattered. Nickel was a critical metal needed for weapons, armor, and military equipment. Because of this, the United States Mint made a historic decision. The traditional metal composition of the Jefferson nickel was changed. Instead of the usual alloy, the 1943 Jefferson nickel was struck using a special wartime composition that included silver. This single change instantly separated this coin from most other nickels ever made and placed it in a special category collectors now call war nickels. When you look at this coin, the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson still greets you on the front, strong and dignified, as if watching over a nation at war. On the back, Monticello stands firm, a symbol of endurance and stability during uncertain times. But the most important detail is one many people overlook. Above Monticello, a large mint mark appears for the first time in U.S. coin history on a nickel. Whether it is a P, D, or S, this mark tells collectors instantly that the coin contains silver and was struck under wartime conditions. What truly excites collectors is not just the silver content, but the variety of rare errors and conditions that exist for the 1943 Jefferson nickel. During the rush of wartime production, mistakes happened. Some coins were struck off-center, leaving part of the design missing and creating a dramatic look. Others show doubled lettering, especially noticeable in the date or the word Monticello. There are also over-mint mark varieties, where one mint mark was struck over another, creating a fascinating visual clue that something unusual happened at the mint. Strike quality is another key reason this coin can become rare and expensive. Wartime nickels were often poorly struck, with weak details, especially on Monticello. Collectors search passionately for examples with sharp steps and bold lines. A 1943 nickel with fully visible steps is extremely difficult to find and highly prized. Each clear line adds to the coin's story and its desirability. Condition transforms this coin from historical to extraordinary. Many 1943 nickels were heavily used during the war years and after, losing detail and shine. But a small number were saved, preserved in rolls or collections. These coins still show bright surfaces, strong luster, and crisp detail. For collectors, holding such a piece feels like touching a moment frozen in the 1940s. This coin is more than metal. It represents sacrifice, innovation, and resilience. It teaches collectors to look closer, to respect history, and to understand that even the smallest coin can carry immense importance. Every 1943 Jefferson nickel deserves attention, because it might be hiding a rare error, exceptional condition, or special variety that turns it into a true treasure. Now listen carefully to this final part. In the real market, a circulated 1943 Jefferson nickel with silver content is usually worth more than face value due to its metal and history. Well-preserved uncirculated examples can be worth several dollars. High-grade coins with strong strikes can reach values in the tens of dollars. Rare error varieties and top-quality examples have sold at auction for hundreds of dollars, and the finest known specimens have achieved prices in the range of several $1,000s, depending on condition, rarity, and collector demand. Coin 3. The United States of America Rare Jefferson Nickel from the year 1972. This is a coin that rewards patience, sharp eyes, and true passion for collecting. If you love coins, listen very carefully and enjoy every second of this journey. The 1972 Jefferson nickel was minted during a time when American coins were changing roles. Silver was gone from most circulating coinage, inflation was rising, and coins were being produced fast to meet everyday needs. Because of this, the mint focused on quantity rather than perfection. Millions of nickels were struck in Philadelphia and Denver, and at first glance, they all look the same. But collectors know that this is exactly what creates opportunity. When speed replaces precision, mistakes happen, and those mistakes can turn an ordinary 5-cent coin into something truly special. The design itself is familiar and comforting. Thomas Jefferson's portrait faces right, calm and thoughtful, while Monticello stands proudly on the reverse. Yet, when you study a 1972 nickel closely, tiny details begin to matter. Some coins were struck with weak pressure, causing flat details, especially on Monticello. Others were struck with exceptional force, revealing sharp lines and crisp features that are rarely seen. Collectors especially search for examples where the steps of Monticello are fully visible and uninterrupted. These full steps nickels are extremely difficult to find for this year, and even one small break in a line can reduce a coin's desirability. A perfect example, however, can transform this common date into a collector's dream. Errors play a huge role in the rarity of the 1972 Jefferson nickel. During production, misaligned dies created off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing and the blank metal shows clearly. Some coins display doubled lettering, particularly noticeable in the word Liberty or the date. caused by die doubling. There are also clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin appears cut away due to a mistake during the metal cutting process. These errors are not damage, they are mint-made accidents, and collectors actively hunt for them. Another exciting detail for collectors is surface quality. Many 1972 nickels show heavy contact marks from mass handling. But a few escape this fate. Coins with clean surfaces, strong luster, and original shine stand out instantly. These high-grade examples are far rarer than people expect because most were spent immediately and circulated for decades. Finding one today feels like discovering a time capsule from the early 1970s. What makes this coin especially interesting is how it teaches collectors discipline. It forces you to slow down, to inspect every detail, and to appreciate craftsmanship, even when flaws exist. It reminds us that value is not always loud or obvious. Sometimes it whispers, waiting for the right person to listen. The 1972 Jefferson nickel may not shine with silver, but it shines with possibility. Every roll searched, every old collection examined, carries the chance of uncovering a rare error or a perfectly struck example. That excitement is what keeps coin lovers searching, learning, and enjoying the hobby year after year. Now listen closely to this final part. In the real market, a circulated 1972 Jefferson nickel is usually worth face value. An uncirculated example can be worth a few dollars. High-grade coins with strong strikes may reach values in the tens of dollars. Nickels with full steps or major mint errors have sold at auction for hundreds of dollars, and the finest known examples have achieved prices in the range of several $1,000s, depending on condition, rarity, and collector demand. Coin for the United States of America rare Jefferson nickel from the year 1974. Stay with this video till the end, because what seems ordinary at first can slowly turn into something truly exciting. The year 1974 was a busy time for the United States Mint. Coins were being produced in huge numbers to keep up with daily commerce, and quality control often took a back seat to speed. Philadelphia and Denver were striking millions of Jefferson nickels, and as a result, small imperfections, weak strikes, and unexpected errors found their way into circulation. This is exactly why collectors pay close attention to this year. When production pressure is high, rarity is often created by accident. The design of the 1974 Jefferson nickel feels familiar and comforting. Thomas Jefferson's portrait appears steady and thoughtful, while Monticello stands firm on the reverse, symbolizing history and tradition. But collectors know that true value is found in the details. Many coins from this year show flat or weak areas, especially on Monticello's steps. Because of this, a nickel with sharp, complete, and uninterrupted steps becomes incredibly desirable. These full steps examples are very hard to find for 1974. And even experienced collectors may search for years before finding a perfect one. Errors are another reason this coin captures attention. Some 1974 nickels were struck off-center, creating dramatic and eye-catching shapes. Others show doubled details, especially in the lettering of Liberty or the date, caused by doubling during the die creation process. There are also clipped planchets, where a curved portion of the coin is missing due to a mistake in the metal cutting stage. Each of these errors tells a story of how the coin was made, and collectors value them because no two errors are exactly the same. Condition plays a powerful role in transforming this coin from common to collectible. Most 1974 nickels were heavily circulated, picking up scratches, marks, and dull surfaces over time. However, a small number were saved early and protected from wear. These coins still display original luster, clean fields, and strong detail. Finding one today feels like opening a time capsule from the 1970s. High-grade examples stand out immediately to collectors and grading services alike. What makes this coin especially appealing is the challenge it offers. It teaches patience, sharp observation, and respect for minting history. It reminds coin lovers that value is often hidden, waiting for someone willing to look closer. The 1974 Jefferson nickel may not contain silver, but it contains opportunity, excitement, and the thrill of discovery for collectors. Every roll searched and every old collection examined brings hope. One small nickel could hold a rare error, a perfect strike, or a level of preservation that turns it into something extraordinary. That is why this coin continues to be studied, searched, and loved by collectors across the country. And now listen carefully to this final part. In the real market, a circulated 1974 Jefferson nickel is generally worth only face value. An uncirculated example may be worth a few dollars. High-grade coins with strong strikes can reach values in the tens of dollars. Nickels with full steps or major mint errors have sold at auction for hundreds of dollars, and the finest known examples have achieved prices in the range of several $1,000s, depending on condition, rarity, and collector demand. Coin 5. The United States of America rare Jefferson nickel from the year 1971 with the Denver Mint mark. Stay with this video till the very end, listen carefully, and enjoy every detail, because this ordinary-looking 5-cent coin can become something truly extraordinary. The 1971 D Jefferson nickel was produced during a time when the U.S. Mint was focused on speed and volume. America needed coins for daily use, and millions of nickels were struck in Denver to keep the economy moving. Because of this fast production, many coins were weakly struck, poorly detailed, or quickly released into circulation. To most people, this makes the coin seem common. But for collectors, this is exactly where rarity begins to form. The design remains classic and familiar. Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the front represents intelligence, leadership, and history, while Monticello on the reverse stands as a symbol of American heritage. However, collectors know that the real story is hidden in the smallest details. On many 1971 D nickels, the steps of Monticello appear flat or incomplete due to weak strikes. This makes sharply detailed examples incredibly rare. A coin showing full, clear, and uninterrupted steps is known as a full steps nickel, and for this specific year in mint, these are extremely difficult to find. One small break in a step can change everything. Mint errors are another reason this coin attracts serious attention. During the minting process, mistakes happened. Some coins were struck off-center, leaving part of the design missing and exposing blank metal. Others display doubled lettering, especially in the date or the word Liberty, caused by doubled dies. There are also coins struck on imperfect planchets, resulting in clips, cracks, or unusual textures. These are mint-made errors, not damage, and collectors prize them because each one is unique. Condition plays a huge role in determining rarity. Most 1971 D nickels entered circulation immediately and spent decades being handled, scratched, and worn. As a result, truly uncirculated examples are far scarcer than people think. Coins that still show original luster, smooth surfaces, and sharp details stand out instantly. Finding such a coin today feels like discovering a forgotten piece of history frozen in time. What makes the 1971 D Jefferson nickel special is the challenge it offers. It teaches collectors to slow down, inspect carefully, and appreciate subtle details. It reminds us that some of the most exciting finds do not come from precious metals, but from knowledge and attention. Every coin roll searched, every old jar opened, carries the possibility of uncovering something rare. For coin lovers, this nickel represents hope and excitement. It proves that even modern-era coins can hold surprises. The thrill comes not just from value, but from the hunt itself, from learning, and from connecting with the past through a simple piece of metal. Now listen very carefully to this final part. In the real market, a circulated 1971 D Jefferson nickel is usually worth face value. An uncirculated example can be worth a few dollars. High-grade coins with strong strikes may be worth tens of dollars. Nickels with full steps or major mint errors have sold at auction for hundreds of dollars, and the finest known examples have reached values in the range of several $1,000s, depending on condition, rarity, and collector demand. Coin 6. The United States of America rare Jefferson nickel from the year 1994 with the Denver Mint mark. This 5-cent coin may look ordinary, but for sharp-eyed collectors, it holds secrets that can turn curiosity into excitement. Coin lovers, listen very carefully and enjoy this journey from start to finish. The 1994 D Jefferson nickel was produced during a time when the U.S. Mint relied heavily on high-speed machinery. Millions of nickels were struck quickly to support everyday commerce. Because of this speed, precision often suffered. Dies wore out fast, strikes became weaker, and small mistakes slipped through unnoticed. This environment created the perfect conditions for rare varieties, strong strike survivors, and fascinating mint errors to exist within an otherwise common year. The design remains the classic Jefferson style, familiar to everyone. Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the front appears thoughtful and composed, while Monticello on the reverse reflects American heritage and architectural beauty. But collectors do not stop at first glance. They examine the coin closely, especially the fine details. On many 1994 D nickels, Monticello's steps appear blurred or incomplete. That weakness is common. What is rare is a coin where every step is fully separated, sharp, and uninterrupted. These are known as full steps nickels, and for this date and mint, they are extremely difficult to find. Even a tiny mark or strike weakness can disqualify a coin, making true full steps examples highly desirable. Errors add another layer of excitement. During production, some 1994 D nickels were struck off-center, creating dramatic shapes where part of the design is missing. Others show doubled details, especially in the lettering of Liberty or the date, caused by doubled dies. There are also clipped planchets, where a curved portion of the coin is missing due to a cutting mistake before striking. Some coins display die cracks or die chips, adding raised metal lines or blobs that collectors find fascinating. These errors are mint-made and cannot be duplicated, which is why they command attention and respect. Condition is what truly separates common from collectible. Most 1994 D nickels entered circulation immediately and were used for decades. As a result, pristine examples are far scarcer than people expect. A coin that still shows original luster, clean surfaces, and strong detail stands out instantly. These high-grade survivors are the ones collectors compete for, because they represent a moment frozen in time, untouched by everyday wear. What makes this coin especially interesting is its lesson. It teaches that rarity is not always about age or precious metal. Knowledge, patience, and careful observation are what create value. Every jar of change, every old roll, carries the possibility of discovery. That thrill is what keeps coin lovers searching and learning. The 1994 D Jefferson nickel proves that modern coins still have stories to tell. It invites collectors to slow down, look closer, and appreciate the art and mistakes of the minting process. For those willing to listen, this small coin speaks volumes. Now listen carefully to this final part. In the real market, a circulated 1994 D Jefferson nickel is usually worth face value. An uncirculated example can be worth a few dollars. High-grade coins with strong strikes may be worth tens of dollars. Nickels with full steps or major mint errors have sold at auction for hundreds of dollars, and the finest known examples have achieved prices in the range of several $1,000s, depending on condition, rarity, and collector demand. Coin 7. We are stepping into the world of modern American coin treasures, where an everyday 5-cent coin can quietly become a collector's dream. Many people believe only old silver coins matter, but experienced collectors know that even late 20th century coins can hold surprising value. Today's story is about the United States of America rare Jefferson nickel from the year 1990 with the Philadelphia Mint origin. Coin lovers, listen very carefully, relax, and enjoy this full journey, because this coin teaches us how rarity can hide in plain sight. The 1990 Jefferson nickel was struck during a period when the U.S. Mint focused heavily on efficiency and speed. Coins were produced in massive numbers to support daily transactions across the country. Because of this fast production environment, small details were often sacrificed. Dies were used longer than ideal, strikes became weaker, and quality control was not always perfect. This created a situation where most coins looked average, but a small number became exceptional, and those are the coins collectors search for today. The design is instantly recognizable. Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the front reflects calm intelligence and historical importance. On the reverse, Monticello stands as a symbol of American heritage. But collectors never stop at the surface. They look closer. On many 1990 nickels, the steps of Monticello appear flat, blended, or incomplete. This weakness is common. What is rare is a coin where all the steps are sharp, fully separated, and uninterrupted. These are known as full steps nickels, and for the 1990 Philadelphia issue, they are extremely difficult to find. One tiny mark or weak strike can prevent a coin from qualifying, which is why true examples are so special. Mint errors also add excitement to this coin. During production, some 1990 nickels were struck with misaligned dies, resulting in off-center designs that immediately catch the eye. Others show doubled lettering, especially in Liberty or the date, caused by doubled dies during the creation process. Some coins were struck on flawed planchets, leading to clipped edges or unusual surface textures. There are even examples with die cracks or die chips, leaving raised lines or bumps that make each coin unique. These errors are not damage, they are permanent records of what happened inside the mint. Condition plays a powerful role in rarity. Most 1990 nickels entered circulation immediately and were used for decades, collecting scratches, dullness, and wear. Truly uncirculated examples are far scarcer than many people realize. Coins that still display original luster, clean surfaces, and crisp details stand out instantly. These high-grade survivors feel like time capsules, frozen exactly as they were when they left the mint. What makes the 1990 Jefferson nickel especially interesting is the lesson it teaches. It shows that age alone does not create value. Knowledge, patience, and attention to detail do. Collectors who take time to study strike quality, errors, and condition often find treasures others overlook. Every roll searched and every old coin jar examined carries potential. This coin represents the excitement of modern collecting. It proves that the hunt is just as thrilling as the reward. For true coin lovers, listening closely to these details transforms an ordinary nickel into something meaningful and exciting. Now listen carefully to this final part. In the real market, a circulated 1990 Jefferson nickel is usually worth face value. An uncirculated example may be worth a few dollars. High-grade coins with strong strikes can be worth tens of dollars. Nickels with full steps or significant mint errors have sold at auction for hundreds of dollars, and the finest known examples have reached prices in the range of several $1,000s, depending on condition, rarity, and collector demand.